The Chill Zone, but I'm David Heller. It's Super Bowl week, Donnie. But unfortunately, it's been a sad week in the music world, as the title implies, hasn't it?
Yes, it has.
Yep, we will get into the memories of Toby Keith. We're going to get into a lot more, including previewing the Super Bowl. And it's all right here and right now.
More local, more meaningful. This is News 9.
And I'm still waiting for that intro to be done by Michael Foy, by the way, if you're wondering. Yes,
Thunderbird 501.
Yes, that's right. It is Super Bowl week. Welcome to what is officially episode 1 of the Chill Zone. I'm, of course, David Heller. He is Donovan Scalco, my first mate of the Chill Zone. We got a lot of topics to get to, so we did begin with sad news that struck not only the country music world, but also here in Oklahoma too. Toby Keith, a legend in the music world, sadly passed away this week after a 2-year battle with stomach cancer. My memories of, Toby were hearing some of the music like Should Have Been a Cowboy, Red Solo Cup, me and my parents get those red solo looking cups all the time. That's Toby's song. Sang a lot of patriotic songs. He was a true patriot through and through. He grew up in Oklahoma, just like me. Was from the Moore area, which, for people who don't know where Moore is just a little bit south of Oklahoma City. It's a suburb, so it's basically in between Norman and Oklahoma City. For those of you who don't know or who might not be into the world of weather like I am, Moore is infamous for having so many F5 and EF5 major deadly tornadoes striking that area. And when the 2013 tornado happened, Toby Keith actually stepped in and chipped in to help with, starting the recovery process after Moore was once again hit hard by a powerful tornado. So Toby did so much for this community. Not
a man of charity.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, Toby did so much. Not only for the state of Oklahoma, but across this country and around the world. He's going to be sorely missed. What's your thoughts, Donnie?
A guy named Toby Keith was when Walter from Jeff Dunham's Puppets was talking about how to stop terrorists in 2007. He gets he asked Toby Keith to write another song about I'm not gonna get further into that because just write a song about anti-terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, Toby Keith has had not one, not two, not three, not four. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20 songs top the charts in the U.S. country list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. To basically have this many top, the list in terms of, popular songs. Yeah, it's definitely incredible, and I'm sure, Donnie, you may or may not go more in depth onto the legendary career of Toby Keith for your song stories pod at some point. If you do, I would highly. Yeah, I was about to say, if you were going to do that, I would highly encourage viewers to check that out because you are going to be amazed at how many of Toby's songs topped the popular song lists over the course of Toby's career. But yeah, and another thing I would encourage people to do is I would highly recommend look up News 9, that's KWTV, which is my CBS affiliate. Look up News 9 on YouTube and watch the full interview Toby did with Robin Marsh, who was the morning anchor there. And you're probably going to get emotional by the time you get through watching that whole thing. It's over an hour long. I highly recommend watching it. I actually watched the more edited version of it when it aired on the 10 o'clock newscast. So that'd be 11 o'clock your time, Donnie. Couple weeks ago, and that was pretty. It was well done. Yeah, at the same time, it was pretty saddening to see Toby in the shape that he was in. But the bottom line is, and this is coming from somebody who is dealing with a parent who is having to battle with cancer, albeit not stomach cancer like what Toby Keith had, but a different type of cancer. Cancer stinks.
Yeah.
Cancer stinks. So, we here at the Chill Zone want to send our deepest thoughts, prayers, and condolences to Toby's extended family. And yeah, his songs will definitely live on, but Toby will definitely be sorely missed. Now, news came in yesterday, and to be honest, I don't know about you, Donnie, but I'm not surprised by this one bit. Nick Saban is going to be joining College GameDay this coming fall, and in addition, he's going to be working on not only ESPN's NFL draft coverage, but he will also be on 4 SEC Media Days that will be taking place this July in Dallas, by the way. What's your thoughts? I'm sure you're not surprised by this.
Saban is a true committee. They might actually do a third mock draft list on ESPN soon from him.
Yeah. Yep, and I'm sure I'm sure Saban is going to probably put a lot of the Alabama stars in that first round for sure. I'm sure that's probably what Saban's going to do. But yeah, honestly, I think Saban is going to do great as an analyst on College Game Day. I might actually start waking up and watching College Game Day this coming fall just to see Saban on TV, because Saban is great at whatever it is that he's done, whether it be coaching or otherwise. I think he's going to be great as a TV analyst on College Game Day. There's no doubt in my mind. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Saban is able to do. And for those that are wondering what's going to happen to Lee Corso is going to be coming back onto College Game Day. Yep, so those headgears that Lee Corso is famous for, they will be back this fall. But who knows how long Lee Corso is going to be doing this. But Lee Corso is a legend in his own right. And I think, to me, I see this as Saban eventually replacing Lee Corso as one of the top guys on College Game Day. Whether or not Saban is going to do the headgear stuff like what Corso does, I don't know. I kind of doubt that. But I definitely see I do see Saban replacing Corso as the tops in terms of College Game Day analysts. And to be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if ESPN decides to start some sort of a podcast featuring Saban and Bill Belichick. If Bill Belichick, ultimately decides that he's done with coaching altogether. I think Belichick and Saban would be great together.
Tom Brady's surprised that Belichick didn't get a job. He should be, because Belichick is useless without him.
Agreed. Belichick is completely useless, and for his age and the way his mindset is, it does not translate to the modern NFL like it used to be. So I think it may be time for him and Saban to just start a podcast and break down X's and O's, because I think those two have brilliant football minds, and I think they'd be great at it. And maybe Pete Carroll joins in. I don't know. But those three in general, and like I said, I'll throw Pete Carroll in there too. Those three have great football minds, and I think those three would do wonderful in some form of the media, whether it be on TV, whether it be doing a podcast like what you and I are doing. I think those three will be great at whatever it is that they decide to do. Now, I think, Donnie, you mentioned about going to a Florida Gators basketball game. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, they're playing LSU Tuesday.
Yep. How was the experience?
Oh, I didn't go yet, but
oh yeah, that's right. That's next week, isn't it? That's next week.
But I think this is gonna. Last time I've been to the very first time I've been to a Gators game.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not actual game, the actual area where the fields were.
Yeah.
I went into the Swamp first, and then the Stephen O'Connell Center second. That was really the time when the Gators swept the 2006-07 basketball and football. I grew to be a Gators fan since then.
And that was when the Gators had Billy Donovan as their head basketball coach before my Thunder took him.
And Joakim Noah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, honestly, based on the experience, I think Donnie, you and I should probably go to one of those games whenever my Sooners does travel to Gainesville. Because remember this, my Sooners going to be in the SEC next year, so maybe, just maybe, be on the lookout for it. Donnie and I may figure out something where we actually meet up in person and, you know.
I think the Gators are going to play the Sooners. No, they're not. They're not going to play the Sooners. They're going to play Texas, but they're going to be playing in Austin.
Yeah. They're not playing the Sooners this year in football, but maybe in basketball. We'll see. We'll see about that in basketball. But
the Gators.
The Gators and Sooners. They may play against each other in basketball. We'll see what happens when the men's basketball schedule for 2024-25 comes out from the SEC. But that may be the first time we'll see the Sooners and Gators play against each other. Is probably going to be in basketball or maybe some other sport. But honestly, I would love to go to the Swamp whenever the Sooners travels to Gainesville. I think it's going to be a fun experience for sure.
What year it's going to be, we don't know.
Exactly. We don't know when the Sooners will be going to Gainesville, but at some point they will. And trust me, I will do everything I can to make that trip to Gainesville, and of course to come see you, Mr. Scalco. Of course, I would make every effort to come see you, my friend.
The following teams that are playing in the Swamp, for 2024 are Miami, Samford, not Stanford, Samford.
Yep, Samford.
Texas A&M, then UCF.
Yep.
Kentucky, Ole Miss. Yeah, Kentucky and Ole Miss.
Yep. And of course the aforementioned Longhorns, in which your Gators is going to Austin. So, yep, we'll see. We'll see what happens, but at some point down the line, that is absolutely going to happen. And remind me again, and we'll actually talk about your experience in Gainesville with that LSU Florida game next week. Okay, it is that time where we will get to our Super Bowl predictions after we do our preview for the song stories. And Donnie, I understand it's going to be the same one that you did last time, or is it going to be a different one this time around? For your song stories, Paul.
I got a little more to talk about out for my John Mellencamp episode. This one is from the song Small. Mm-hmm. Mellencamp wrote the song Small Town about growing up in this small town of Seymour, Indiana, the very same state where Michael Jackson is from.
Mm-hmm.
Many entertainers from rural America settle in big cities where the action is. Mellencamp tried that, moving to New York City after he got a record deal, but it didn't take. He felt overwhelmed and creatively bereft. He moved back to Indiana and stayed there the rest of his life, setting up his own recording in the tiny town of Nashville, Indiana, so he wouldn't have to go into a city to work. Many songs have been written about looking to escape the confines of small-town America, but Mellencamp celebrates it in his music and life, most vividly on this song. Mellencamp was portrayed as the champion of small-town America when the song was released. He downplayed his title as the voice of the heartland, saying he was simply writing about a statement. But to those living in small towns across the United States, his music was inspiring. David Maciotra, author of American Troubadour, grew up in the small town of Lansing, Illinois, and was one of many who felt validated by this song. Small Town is an immensely important song in the recent history of American music because of exactly what he said. It celebrates the life that one can map. It affirms the dignity and integrity and value of the people who reside within those towns. When he wrote it, it wasn't his intention to become the voice of the heartland or the keeper of the small town, but with all due respect to Mr. Mellencamp, I don't think that he gets to decide. Bob Dylan said that he didn't want to become the voice of his generation in the 60s. Well, once art exists outside the wider culture, it really of the creator, and it becomes something that embeds itself in the lives of listeners. And for me, it affirmed the value and the dignity of the relevance where I lived.
Wow. That well done, sir. And obviously you'll share a lot more on your upcoming Song Stories episode. So I would definitely encourage listeners, people who may be watching, to check that out. And I will remind me not remind me when it does get released. Send me the link to the episode, and then later on at some point after this actual episode of this podcast, the one that you the viewers are watching now gets released, that will get posted in the description below, so that way you can check out the rest of that song story that Donovan just did. So well done. Now it is that time. It is that time. Super Bowl 58 in Las Vegas. This coming Sunday on CBS, Paramount Plus, Nickelodeon. We have the two teams set. The San Francisco 49ers taking on the new division foe of mine, because for those of you who may have missed this last week, I have made it official that I am switching over to the Denver Broncos. So my new division foe is now the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's get right to it. What are going to be the key factors for both teams and predictions? I'll start with you, Donnie.
The key factor for the 49ers is to have a strong chain of defenders, because last time they faced off, which was in 2020, it did not go well as they blew a 10-plus point lead.
Yep.
Well, can they hold on to this lead? I don't know. And the keys for the Chiefs are receivers comfortably behind the defense of San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Don't feel the pressure of the 2-minute drill, and you're good to go.
Yep.
I am going to say the winner is going to be San Francisco for number 6.
49ers and score prediction?
Give me the Niners 34-21.
34-21. It is the 49ers. I think the biggest thing in terms of keys for both teams is this: 49ers continue to do what you've done, but get off to a better start. You cannot afford to go down 24-0, 27-0 at the half against a team like the Chiefs and expect to make a comeback. Now, it's happened before. You can ask the Falcons from that one Super Bowl when they had that 28-3 lead and blew it to Tom Brady and the Patriots. So that can happen. But against a team like the Chiefs, you cannot go down this many points and expect to come from behind and win. You can't do that. So I think the biggest thing for the Niners is get out to a fast start in the first quarter. Win the first and second quarters. If you can do that, then continue doing what you have always done throughout the season in the third and fourth quarters. You're going to be going home lifting that 6th Lombardi trophy. For the Chiefs, do what the Lions failed to do in the NFC Championship game a couple weeks ago. Finish the job. Get off to a good start in the first half, yes. But don't do what the Lions did in that NFC Championship game in the second half and just fall apart. Finish the job. If you do that, the Chiefs do, we will have our first repeat champion since the 03-04 Patriots. So, a lot of history on the line. We're either going to have our first repeat Super Bowl champ since the Patriots did it with Tom Brady in 03 and 04, or the 49ers is going to become the first NFC team to get 6 Super Bowl rings, and they will do it before those Dallas Cowboys does it. Who do I think is going to get this done this year? I'm going to say the actual retail price of the winner of the Super Bowl is 31-20 San Francisco 49ers, and they get their 6th Super Bowl ring before the Dallas Cowboys does. That is my prediction. Yes, I had to pull out my inner Bob Barker. I just had to do that. But 31-20 is my prediction. And the weather for Las Vegas should be a lot better than what it is out there. But in my neck of the woods, let me just pull up my share screen. And by the way, I'm going to probably release this podcast as soon as, this gets finished recording. I'm going to release this because this is kind of important. But looking at my neck of the woods here, Donnie, I may be in for a doozy of a snowstorm. So this is the GFS model here. And for those of you who may not know what this is a computer.
Whoa.
So you have green air, that's rain.
See blue in the heartland.
Yep, and then blue, that's snow. Watch this. So we're gonna go. We're just gonna go to hour 72. So this is 12Z. Notice the precipitation already starting to come in to southwest Oklahoma. Now we go to 15Z. It is already starting to switch over to snow, and heavy snow at that, out in the panhandles and in the western Oklahoma. As we go through this, oh my goodness. Then all this rain goes to this. Heavy, wet snow. And this is 21Z, so this will probably be during the Super Bowl. And it is snowing ridiculously out in western Oklahoma. And bear in mind...
Thankfully, the Super Bowl is going to be indoors.
Yeah. Fortunately, the Super Bowl will be indoors. And fortunately, I don't have to get out in this. But, oh, come on, computer. Let's not do this crap to me, please. Sorry about that technical problems. There we go. We're going to look at the snowfall here. Holy smokes, Western Oklahoma. This is the GFS. 23 inches out in far western Oklahoma. 23. Donnie, I'm glad you're out there in Florida and you don't have to deal with this. I'm glad you're out.
Scary stuff, my friends.
Yep. So this is the GFS. Let's look at the Euro real fast. And I'm gonna stick with this here. Same time frame, and whoa! Oklahoma City area sees almost 10 inches of snow. I see about 6. Western Oklahoma sees over a foot. So this could very well be a doozy of a snowstorm, or this could be an all-rain event. So all I'm going to say, if you're watching this and you're in Oklahoma or Texas, you need to be watching the weather very carefully. Be checking in with your sources, the National Weather Service, your local media. And they will have delays throughout the rest of this week, into this weekend. And, all I can say is, Donnie, be glad that you're out there in Florida. Albeit,
you just get cold rain.
albeit, I will tell you this, last Sunday, you did have some tornado warnings not far from your neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Did anything happen over there in your neck of the woods? Any damage? Any of that? Probably not.
I didn't see much damage occur, so it was probably just regular storms that could produce that kind of activity. But thankfully, they didn't produce.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, I was actually watching the radar when that whole thing happened. There were some tornadoes last Sunday, but fortunately they were well west of the Jacksonville area. So that was good to see. But anyways, with all that said, this will conclude the fall portion of this football season. Donnie, my friend, it's been a pleasure to be doing all these football predictions and breaking down these football games with you, my friend.
Same.
And next week I don't know what we're going to do, because this will be in between the Super Bowl and the Daytona 500. I think the week after we may preview the Daytona 500. I don't know. And whether or not we're going to be doing or covering the UFL, I don't know. Donnie and I will chat about this, of course, on Messenger. And we will figure out what other sports that we'll be covering as the football offseason gets underway. Obviously, spring ball will be coming up in April, and then we're going to have our second transfer portal season after that. So at least that will be in the news as well as we head through spring. But I do know this. Pitchers and catchers report, and they are coming to Florida, and they're coming to Arizona, and that means, Donnie, baseball season is right around the corner. And I'm definitely looking forward to covering whatever happens next on the Chill Zone throughout this football offseason, and we will see you all next week, everybody, at the same time, knuckleheads.
Bye, everyone.
And enjoy the big game as well. And we will see you next week, everybody. So long. For news 24 hours a day, CBS.com on the internet and on America Online at keyword CBS News.